guys, and not just to see you guys because we finally get to be in a big room together and nobody please call Brad COVID, but we get to hang out and we get to celebrate such an incredible, awesome moment in your life. And so just give it for all our graduates. Here and a part of this, and just so that you kind of know, we have a couple people that's going to share and talk some stuff with you guys, and then we're going to have a meal, and then we have a keynote speaker that's going to come up and share some things to really challenge you guys, and then we're going to give you a certificate and some ILP swag, give you an opportunity to take a picture in front of our great ILP backdrop right there, and we are just so excited about every aspect of that. Okay, so look, do me a favor. If you are a graduate, if you're graduating this year, you're a graduate, I just need you to stand up so we can look at you. Every graduate in this room, stand up. Awesome. All right, you guys can stand. So I just want to talk to you just for a minute about just this thought that's been in my mind that I want to challenge you guys with before we move on. And I wanted you to stand up because I wanted to slap that on you. I wanted to slap on you that word graduate, okay? You know, I'm not going to go into the statistics of the number of people, especially the number of those in foster care that don't graduate high school at all. But you guys did that. From this point on, for the rest of your life, you are a high school graduate. And that is a big deal. That is big. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can take that away from you. You know what I know is that people like to label you guys a lot. People are all about the labels. Right now, y'all are thinking about some of the labels that you've had and some of the labels that you've dealt with. I remember labels that I had when I was growing up, and my life was probably not as dramatic as most of y'all. When I was a kid, my sister, she's about 13 months older than I am, and so for the longest time, I thought my name was Christy Bill, because it'd be Christy Bill. Christy Bill. Christy Bill, stop that. Christy Bill, come here. I'm like, my name is not Christy Bill. My name is Bill, and I'm a man. I was like 8. And so, you know, I had those moments with my parents. And so my dad is a Bill. I'm a junior, which has its moments too when you have 2 Bills in the house. And so some of my relatives decided that it would be cool to call me Bill. So I was like, hey, Bill, come here. Bill. So when you're 30 and people are calling you Bill, that is not fun, okay? That is one of the labels that I had. I'm going to share with you. No, I'm just trying to be so transparent. If you call me this later, I'm going to be upset. And not really. But so then I had this cousin of mine who thought she was really cute, and she called me because my name is actually William Elmer, don't make fun of me, I'm a junior. William Elmer Vincent, that's really my full name, okay? Y'all can call me William. And so I had this cousin who thought it would be cool to call me Weeby. Yeah, okay. So those were, and again, I can remember being in my 30s and going home to a family reunion, and my cousin coming and going, Weeby! And I'm like, yeah, I don't love you anymore. I don't know you. I'm 30. This is my wife and kids. Please hush. And so, but you know, we all have those labels that people put on us, and some of the labels that they put on us are not positive. In fact, here's what's funny is that even that label of foster youth or foster care or foster kid or whatever it is, just that label itself has so many different connotations to it. Sometimes it's a label that makes us feel good. I've been in foster care, and there's so many things that I get to do, and then sometimes it has all this connotation that's negative, and we sit there and we go, yeah, that's a negative thing. So I've had some of you guys share with me how when people find out at school that you were in foster care, it automatically becomes a negative thing. Since when does foster care have to be a negative thing? I love foster kids. I'm telling you that I think you guys are awesome. You guys overcome more than most kids do on a regular basis. Could you tell every one of those chumps in your high school that don't understand what foster care is that you have gone further and done more and achieved more than they will, and you will continue to do that because the obstacles sometimes that you have are so much bigger than that. And you know what? The labels that people put on us is only words that do not matter. What matters is what I see of who I am. Now, I think this is a little funny, but this is just me because this is Bill. I'm Bill. That's the label I put on me. I tell people I'm Bill because I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'm not trying to do anything else. I just want to be me. And what I want to say to you is be you. And be the best version of who you can be. Don't worry about all that other stuff, but be the best version of that person. Don't be the you that people want to put those negative labels on. Be that you where they start attributing all those positive things. Well, they're incredible. They sure are awesome. They're doing some neat things. They're remarkable. Because you guys are those things. You just have to embrace those labels. Here's here's the problem with our labels, is that our labels tend to hold us to our past. It begins to be who we were, not where we're going. And what I want is I want every label that anybody ever puts on me or you to be where I'm going, not where I've been. And you are a graduate. You are a graduate. And for the rest of your life, everything that you become from this moment on is determined by you. When you're in high school, people make you go. They make you go to high school. They make you do those things. In college, people don't make you go to college.
Amen.
People don't make you go to class. That's why we have so many dropouts, because we don't make you go. But everything you do, so if you decide to be a doctor, if you decide to be a college graduate, if you decide to be a nurse or a police officer, if you decide to be a husband or a wife or a father or a mother, whatever it is at this moment, whatever label you choose it, you own it, it's yours, be you. I am so excited to be with you today. I cannot... My emotions are so incredible because I miss you guys so much. I miss the opportunity to breathe life into you guys. And let me tell you, for every caseworker that you dealt with that has given you a hard time or labeled you in any other way, let me know, you rock. You rock. And every person that comes up here to this microphone today is going to be somebody that is celebrating you and somebody that is encouraging you and somebody that wants you to know that you are incredible and awesome and you're going to do some great and mighty things. And one day you're going to look back and go, yeah, I did some great things. And you're going to put those labels on you that matter, those labels that are important, value, importance, those labels. Because those are the labels I want to leave you guys with today. Again, I am so excited that you guys are here. One more time, go give it up for our graduates. So that's my greeting, and thank you guys for coming. So look, one of the things that we do in the state of Alabama is we have 2 programs that help support your education so that you can go to college or school or community college or trade school or whatever and do it debt-free, okay? Don't take out student loans. We can help you do those things, and we want you guys to leave that college or that school experience debt-free. How many people in here have debt from college still? Look at me. I got my hand up, okay? Okay? None of you guys should ever have debt from college. We have 2 programs. We have a federally funded program, ETV, which gives up to $5,000 a year for you guys to have money and support. And then we have a program called Fostering Hope. If you're not familiar with it, you can go to fosteringhopeal.org. You can go to ILConnect.org. That's ILConnect.org. One more time, ILConnect.org. And you can find out information about those programs. But Fostering Hope will pay your tuition. And that's what we want for you guys. We want you guys to go debt-free. I have the incredible opportunity to work with 2 young ladies that master the program of Fostering Hope, because they are mentors for us in the state of Alabama, and they go around and they help. Once a semester, they have to make contact. For some of our college graduates, they have to make more than once a semester contact with y'all to try to help y'all and encourage you. But they do an incredible work, and they work with our foster youth even after they leave care. So it's not like, hey, I've aged out or I've left foster care and now there's no support. They are still here to support you. And one of those young ladies is here, and I want to introduce her to you, and she's going to introduce our first speaker, you guys. But if y'all will y'all give it up for Taryn Anderson?
Good afternoon. I am Taryn Anderson with Fostering Hope Scholarship, and I do have the pleasure of working with young people that are attending college. And I want to just exude what Bill said in regards to this being the greatest opportunity that you will ever have to get out of school, to be able to take care of yourself after foster care. And I am all things college. I'm going to be your second parent. I'm going to support you. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to fuss at you because I know that the potential is there. And sometimes you just need the encouragement. Sometimes you just need the support. And sometimes you just need a little butt kick. And I am willing to be all those things in love for you. But I have the privilege of coming up here and introducing someone that is close to my heart. She was one of my first Fostering Hope students. And she, to me, is the epitome of what it is to do it well. She, regardless of what was going on, regardless of who was there, who was not there, regardless of what she was going through, she kept her eye on the prize. She graduated, I want to say, with honors.
Debt-free!
And I know that she's going to go on to do so much more. And I'm excited to introduce her. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. But I'm also excited for you all to get to know her. And her name is Miss Monisha Washington.
Everybody. I would like to thank Miss Taryn for giving me that introduction. I almost cried. Okay, so disclaimer, this is my first time ever speaking in front of a group of people this big. So please bear with me, and I move my hands a lot, but that's how I like talk, you know? So first things first, I would like to congratulate all the high schoolers that are graduating this year. That's a huge accomplishment. And I was where y'all were now 5 years ago. And not only did you graduate high school, but you graduated while being in foster care. And that alone is like huge. Because most foster kids, they don't graduate. Like, I know a lot of people that I was in foster care with, they didn't graduate the year I graduated, and some didn't graduate at all. So y'all should be extremely proud. That's a huge milestone that most people don't accomplish. It's an honor to be here. When Miss Taryn texted me and asked me if I could come do this, I was like, Miss Taryn wants to come speak. I didn't read that, so I was like, okay. So she told me what it was about, and you don't know me, I have like my heart is filled with like things to do with foster kids. Like that's something that touches me like deep down inside. I went to the University of Alabama, we had camps, like I was always volunteering to work at camps because that's something that like I just enjoyed, like being around foster kids. So when she asked me, like I was like, I'm gonna do it. Just go ahead and do it. You can practice for the speech, like it's not gonna be hard, just go do it. So, like I said before, I got a list, so be scared with y'all. I was in the same position y'all were in 5 years ago. I was going to go pick up my cap and gown from my high school. And when I picked up my cap and gown, my teachers were like, Mr. Castellera, who was my counselor at the time, wanted to see me. And I was like, well, why does he want to see me? Because the last time I went to his office, that's when I was told I had to go into foster care. So in my head, I'm like, is something bad happening? Like, it was just a lot of thoughts going on in my head. So when I went to his office, the first thing he did was congratulate me for finishing high school. And then he proceeded to ask me what were my plans after graduation. And I told him that I planned on going to our local community college and then going to go get my bachelor's at the university. I didn't know which university at the time. And he was congratulating me, saying that's a good idea. And then he asked me, like, do you know you can go for free? And I was like, no. I had a good GPA, but I did not have a good ACT score. And he was like, yeah, but you can still go for free. And I was like, how? Like, I don't qualify for scholarships. And he was going to tell me that I qualified for the Foster and Hope Scholarship. And I had no idea what that was at the time. And he was just rambling at this point. I just heard the free college. So he then told me, I started college a week after I graduated. So he was like, we can work on this after graduation. So I went to his office and he helped me fill everything out. And there I was, tuition free, room and board free for my first year at my community college. I still did not know where I wanted to go afterwards. So I ended up going to the University of Alabama. And I think that was the best decision I've ever made. I've always wanted to go to Alabama. I never knew how I was going to do it. But I told myself I was going to do it by going to a community college, getting the 4.0, transferring, and doing it that way until I found out about the Foster and Hope scholarship. And when I got to the University of Alabama, coming from a small town, that was a shock because that campus is huge. And I was like, the first month I was like, this is not for me, I'm going back home. I could not do it. And that's when I was introduced to the Alabama Reach program. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but they are a group at the University of Alabama who helps foster kids. I received additional scholarships. I never had to worry about buying like toilet paper, tissue, soap, deodorant, any of that, because that program helped us with all of that. And because of them, I was able to branch out and find myself at the University of Alabama. I was able to join clubs, sororities, my favorite sorority. I was able to just do all these type of things because I didn't have the financial burden of how I was going to pay for college, how was I going to pay for my food to eat. I was like gonna pay for my roof over my head because it was all paid for. So because of that, I graduated debt free. I have 2 degrees from the University of Alabama, not just one, and I'm debt free. So that's something that I'm very grateful for. Like when I was in foster care, I never thought I would see like a different side of my life. I always like dwelled on the past, like why me, why me? And then once I got to the other side, I was like, it's so much more that they offer us that I had no idea about. So one thing I would tell everyone in here is to please use your resources. They are there for you. I'm telling you, life it's better at the end. It's not even the end for me. I feel like my life was just starting because I've had several opportunities since I graduated from the University of Alabama that come upon me. Like I'm about to start a job that I've always wanted to have since I was a little girl. So I'm telling y'all, like it does not end there. Another thing that I always tell myself, especially when I was in college, is that you can do anything that you put your mind to. I've had several people tell me that I cannot do stuff, and that was my motivation to go do it. I don't care what it was. I actually had a teacher in high school, freshman year. I always wanted to go to the University of Alabama. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but she told me that's too expensive. And now look, I just graduated from there with 2 degrees. And so I tell everybody, you can do anything you put your mind to. I will always tell myself do not give up. I always say giving up is not an option. If you give up, like what is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. You just have to start over again and try again. That helped me a lot. It was times where I had several bad days in college. Even now you have a lot of bad days, but you will never appreciate your good days until you have the bad days. That is something I tell myself. When something is good happening, that is amazing, but appreciate the bad days because you will never appreciate good days if you're working for the bad days. Another thing is to focus on the future. I know in high school, I focused on the past too much to where I would get myself down and not knowing that there was, all this stuff to offer in the future. So when I got to college and there was times where I just dwelled on my past and like while I was in foster care, I would always be like, Maisha, don't let it define you, like let it build you. And because of the situations that I went through while I was in foster care, that made me who I am today, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Everything happens for a reason. You might not know the reason now, but I promise you, you will find out that reason later. And that's everything. I would like to thank y'all for having me. I know I talked fast.
Welcome to Montgomery. This is my hometown. Super proud of it. Excited to have y'all here again. Bill and I are twins. We were separated at birth. He's a little older. But it is absolutely a pleasure to get to see you all again. I think we loved ourselves into a depression, most especially when he and I got COVID, when we couldn't see y'all. Because we absolutely live for this. As Bill said, when you work for folks, and we have an absolutely outstanding support team at our state office, our commissioner is behind y'all 200%. Bill can tell you, and so can most of the workers in here, if anything happens to y'all, she wants a pound of flesh from somebody. She wants to know immediately who saw them last, what did they look like, what were they wearing, what did they last eat? I want to know that. Because she is passionate about the children that she is privileged to serve, and so are we. I love my work because I work with incredible folks who love the work too. So they make my job easy. I know y'all think the social workers drive me crazy and they're mean to you. As Terrence said, whatever we do is for your good. And if you got a real mean social worker, call me. I'll call her. I'm not her boss, but I'm pretty bossy. But we are absolutely passionate because we know what you can be. Maisha, so super proud of what you have accomplished. That's why we get up. If I just got one Maisha out of 1,863, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back again. I mentioned our commissioner, and what is that one? Everybody who is walking out debt free can thank that young lady back there. Where we want Mobile?
Yes.
We were meeting. She's one of my dream council leaders. I'm proud of her. She said, if y'all are our parents, why aren't y'all paying for our school? I'm like, why aren't we paying for this? So I put my own strategy together, and luckily our commissioner took hold of it, put some young people in some places where they could get in the way of the governor and say, hey, we really need some free tuition. And it became my passion. I slept with it, fostering home. I woke up with it. I calculated every single thing it took to go to every single public institution in this state. Painstakingly. Met with the governor's office, 50 million. What else do y'all want? I'm going to give it to you. What, do you need it today? Do you need it right? I got it in my pocket. Because I know education is the game changer. And that education doesn't mean getting a master's degree from the University of Alabama. You can go to Auburn, Warrior. You can go to Alabama State University, see that with? It's nice. Don't worry about it. It's cold up there for something. But that is transformational. Being on the college campus is transformational. I sit where I sit right now because of the university that I chose to go to. That wasn't Alabama, by the way. So I love Alabama. That was my first choice. They didn't choose me. They didn't choose to give me money. Let's put it that way. And my dad said I had to go to the highest bidder. So it changed. My college experience changed me, and that's why I sit where I sit today. You don't have to go to college though. You can be the best truck driver, the best hairstylist, the best esthetician, the best pharmacist. Whatever it is you want to be, go out there and get it. And I will fight to the death for y'all to be able to get it and get it debt free. We owe you that. But you owe us the stepping up and going to class. Because that's the tough one. I know you can do it because you're here now. With everything that everybody put in your way, every one of those labels, you crawled over it, you knocked it down, you rolled over it, you drove over it, you clawed it out, whatever you had to do in the middle of COVID. Y'all are the most extraordinary graduating class in the country. Because y'all did it in COVID and Zoom classes. Who's the worst Zoom student in here? Y'all did it when you could have quit. You could have said, you know what? I'll just do it next year. I'll just get my GED. My life is hard. I'm not able to talk to my mom. I don't know where my siblings are. Your classmates aren't dealing with that. Y'all are better than every single one of them. Y'all are the baddest graduates in Alabama. In the nation. And I want you to stand up and give yourselves a hand. Stand up. I'm not trying to act shy today. Because some days, and Maisha and the young lady you're going to hear after lunch, some days you're the only person that's going to get up and clap for yourself. Miss Taryn, she is cute and little. She is the bulldog, but she is not going to be there every day. She is the sweetest little bulldog you've ever saw. But we do it because we want what's best for you. And we know if you have a credential, if you have a degree, if you have those life experiences of being in college with everybody else, that is your chance to change your life in the way that you want it to be. Everyone in here who has achieved a high school or college graduation, they understand that's transformational. You can check that off your list. Nobody can ever say you didn't graduate high school, so you can't have this job. Nobody can ever say you didn't graduate college, you can't have this opportunity. You deserve it more than anybody else. Because you sacrificed a lot to get there. More than any of your other peers. Period. And whatever we need to do for you, I will see tearing on you. She confiscates stuff. That game, she confiscated. She coming to you. She might go to your class and embarrass you. And if you go to ASU all over Huntington, I'm gonna come and embarrass you. Because we want you to have what everyone else has and better. You deserve better, and I want you to get up every single day saying, I deserve the best. Period. I keep this book in my office. I try to get all the graduates to sign it because it reminds me of all the places y'all are going to go. Places that I won't ever know about, but I hope I had a part in. That's what brings us joy at State Office. We have a great support team, and Jan Castile, who's my director, and her supervisor, Karen Smith. They love y'all and they will fight for y'all. Jan's favorite word is how do we make it happen? What we got to do is make it happen. We're going to make things happen for you all. If y'all see things that we need to be doing that you need, pick up the phone and call us. Now, Bill's always saying, he's on the phone, I'll have to stay tonight. So as parents, we are here for you. And we want you to be successful. You've already achieved a great level of success, because I'm going to tell you, as a high schooler, I couldn't have done senior year not in school. I couldn't have done senior year on Zoom. You all did it, and you did it in foster care, and that is amazing. That label has power. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're not powerful. You're powerful than most of the people who's in this room because you did it with every obstacle in your way. You went when you could have sat down. You went when you could have given up. That's amazing. We're here for you. We're proud of you. Super proud of all of you who graduated. And I know there's another graduation and another graduation and another marriage and another achievement that's out there for you. Go out there and get it. So glad y'all are here. Enjoy your lunch. Bill's gonna pray. He didn't know that. He's gonna let food right now.
Good morning or afternoon, whatever it is now. I want to echo what everyone before me has said, that I'm excited to see all of your faces, and everyone before me has said it better than I could say, but I just want to honor all of you and tell you that as a group of adults that are supporting you, we are so proud of you. We'll do this again at the end, but another big hand for our graduates.
And if there's anyone brave in the audience that wants to share, you can just yell it out. What did you want to be when you grow up? A veterinarian? A veterinarian too? A police officer? You want to work for Children's Aid? Okay. Awesome. All right, well, thank you all for sharing. So for me, I wanted to be a pastry chef when I grew up. I wanted to be a pastry chef. So I loved watching the Food Network, watching all those shows on there, and I loved cooking my own recipes, and I had my whole college career planned out. Let me tell y'all what it was. So I was gonna go to this restaurant school at Walnut Hill College in Philadelphia, and I was even gonna pick the internship that you got to go to Walt Disney World. And side note, I still have yet to visit Walt Disney World, but you know, that was my goal. That was the only reason I wanted to go, so I could go to Disney World. And so I had this whole plan planned out at the age of 14. But that plan changed in one single moment. And that moment literally changed my life forever. So I remember the day like it was yesterday. My older sister had just left to go to a school dance, and my younger siblings and I were at home just enjoying a Friday afternoon until there was a knock on the door. It wound up being Child Protective Services and the Human Services Police. And when my adopted mom answered the door and asked what they were here for, they told us that they were here to remove us from our home. And so I immediately ran upstairs and called my best friend to let her know that we were being taken away. And when my mom came upstairs and told us to pack her things, I asked her how much clothes should we pack? And she said just for the weekend and everything was gonna be okay. But it didn't feel that way. So we packed our clothes. My siblings and I cried as we were escorted from our home and into this van. I remember spending hours at the hospital waiting to get a physical done. And then after that, I watched each of my siblings get dropped off at different foster homes, one by one. And at 1 a.m., we finally got to mine. And what was supposed to be a weekend stay turned into 7 years in foster care. And I aged out. 7 years that I never was able to live with my siblings again, and we never went back home. So how many of you are familiar with statistics and what they're used for? Okay, a few people in the room, that's good. So statistics is the science of collecting and analyzing large quantities of data. And so for those of you who are not familiar, AKA, it's a whole bunch of numbers that they use to tell a story of a topic that they're researching. And so I want to share a few data points with you all. But before I share those, I want to let you know that these statistics do not define you and who you are. So let's start off with some basic statistics about foster care. So currently, there are 437,000 young people and children that are in foster care. And of those 400,000 young people, 20,000 age out of foster care every year. And so let me share a few of those with you all, what happens, or what they say happens to young people as they age out of foster care. So within 4 years of aging out, 50% will have no earnings, and those who do will earn an annual income of $7,500. After reaching the age of 18, many young people become homeless. 1 out of every 2 foster children who age out of care will have some form of gainful employment by the age of 24. 7 out of 10 girls who age out of foster care will become pregnant by the age of 21. 25% of young people who age out of foster care will have direct effects of PTSD. Less than 50% of young people in foster care will graduate from high school and attend college compared to the general population. And then less than 3% of young people who age out of foster care will obtain their bachelor's degree, and 1% will go on to obtain a graduate degree. Here's the thing about these data and statistics. They do not define us, and they are always changing. That's what I want to talk with you all about today. I didn't allow these statistics to define me or dictate my future. So I want to highlight for you all my journey with this last statistic that I talked about, that less than 3% of young people who age out of foster care will earn their bachelor's degree, and 1% will receive their graduate degree. So I wish I could stand up here and tell y'all I was this straight A student when it came to going to college, and I graduated in 4 years with high honors, but unfortunately that was not my journey. If that was, my time would be over now, but that is not my journey. And so I want to talk with y'all what it looked like. So here's my personal stats. It took me 7 years to graduate with my bachelor's degree in social work. And it took me 1 additional year to graduate with my master's in social work. As a part of the 3% and the 1%, I'm here to tell you that that journey was by no means easy. 7 years is the same amount of time I spent in the foster care system, and it's also the same amount of time it took me to get my undergraduate degree. I don't know if that's ironic or not, but it just so happens to be my life. So in 7 years of foster care, I was in 12 different placements. I was in 5 foster homes, 2 respite homes, 2 youth shelters, 1 residential treatment facility, 1 transitional living program, and 1 independent living program. I changed schools 3 times during the 7 years and went back to my original school district. I had many caseworkers throughout my time in care, but only 3 of them are still present in my life, and I'm very grateful for them. 7 years may not seem like much to many, but it completely changed my educational path. During my senior year of high school, circa 2009, 2010, yes, I'm reaching that threshold where I'm starting to become old. I was encouraged to apply to several four-year colleges and universities, and with a major of social work. And when I applied to all these colleges, happy, thinking that I was going to get in, and I got rejection letters to all of them. They didn't want me. It's okay. I say that I was given false hope because I was advised to apply to these colleges, yet no one told me about how my foster care experience would affect my academia and would affect my educational journey. So let me put this into perspective for you guys. I heard my auntie talk about the ACT. We had the SAT up north. And so I took the SAT and my score was a 1050. I also had B's, C's, and D's on my high school transcript, which did not help my GPA. What should have been shared with me was prior to applying to these colleges and universities, they should have told me that my best option would be to go to a community college and then transfer into one of the local universities. Again, this is my journey and it's very unique and everyone's journey is unique. Another stat that was shared with me was that most young people who go to college will graduate in 4 years. They forgot to put that little asterisk there that said you'll graduate in 4 years with the support of your family. However, that was not my reality. For my adult supporters who are in the room today, I want you all to raise your hand if you all were in college at the age of 19. How many of you was that? Okay, so majority of the adult supporters in the room. Okay, so now I want you to raise your hand if you were on your own at the age of 19. Yes, less than half. At the age of 19, I was in my last placement of foster care, so I was in my independent living program and I had my own apartment. I worked full-time and I also attended community college full-time. Additionally, I had to survive by putting food in my refrigerator, paying the rent and other bills. My biggest struggle throughout my entire college career was time management. Considering all that I was juggling, my first 2 years of college sadly was not my best years, and even though I was attending. However, I still had to go get this bachelor's degree, so I got all the credits I could from community college and transferred into one of our local universities called Rutgers University. And I went to our smaller campus called the Camden campus. In fall of 2012, I started at Rutgers. I was lucky because my independent living program was literally down the street from the university. I could walk there to and from. So I can commute easy. But just because you can commute easy does not mean that the educational path was easier. I still struggled with academia. Mostly in the classes that had nothing to do with my major. If you asked me about social work, I would be it. If you asked me about leadership, I was able to do it for you. I was able to write those papers like it was nothing. But when it came to science and math and all the stuff that had nothing to do with that, that's why I became a social worker, because I was not good at math. I struggled in those classes. So although I went to Rutgers, I still had another set of requirements to meet because I needed to get into the school of social work program. So we had Rutgers University, but within Rutgers University was the school of social work, and that was a whole nother set of requirements. One of the biggest mountains that I had to climb was a 3.0 GPA requirement. My college support coach, just like Taryn, was there to help me though. I was a part of a program called Project Myself. That's what we call it in New Jersey, and it's tied to our foster care scholarship. I had about 2 to 3 support coaches before I got the right match, and her name was Kendall. Kendall was passionate about education. She was determined to help students like myself succeed, and she also went to Rutgers University and got her degrees in social work from the social work program. So she knew it. She encouraged me to apply, and I didn't get in the first time, but she then introduced me to the dean of the bachelor's program, and his name was Dr. Battle. Well, Dr. Battle was a tough cookie, okay? So I met this man, and he told me to set up a meeting with him, so I did. I drove an hour to talk to him, thinking like, okay, you know, this is what they tell you, to talk to your professors, talk to the deans, you know, to tell them of your situation, and they might on your time management skills and I need you to go to tutoring. I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. Sounds good. But I was my worst downfall. Again, time management was my worst enemy. See, I worked 40 hours a week, and I was also doing foster care advocacy work. I didn't make time to go to tutoring to get the help that I needed in the classes that I was failing in. So when it came time for the second time to apply to the School of Social Work, you all can guess what happened. I did not get in again. And that for me was a rude awakening because I realized I had to start taking my education seriously. I started studying, I worked on a schedule with my support coach to help me with my time management. I actually went to tutoring this time, and I also found the right tutors to help me pass the classes that I really was struggling in. And I started to really invest in my academics. I started passing the classes that were a struggle for me, and my grades started to really reflect my efforts. However, even with these good grades, my GPA still didn't reflect it. GPA is like credit. You know, you do some good things, and then you might get 1 or 2 points. All the adults in the room know what I'm talking about. So it was to the point that even my academic advisor was even asking me if I wanted to pick another major because I had finished my general requirements. I told her no, that I was going to apply to the School of Social Work again for the third time, and that I was determined to get in. So I did. I applied for the third time, and then I went back to Dr. Battle and told him, look, I don't have the GPA to get into your school, but what I do have is the drive and the passion for social work. And then I know that I can do this work. And so he talked to my support coach, Kendall, and then finally, I received my acceptance letter into the School of Social Work, which was the final, step towards graduation. And so in 2017, I graduated with my bachelor's in social work, and then I went on to do the 1-year accelerated program where I received my MSW in 2018. When I think back on my college path and what got me through, it was 3 different things, and I want to leave these three things with you all. The first thing is build your village. I know I spoke about Kendall and Dr. Battle. However, there were many more people in my village that helped me get through, such as social workers, caseworkers, previous staff from previous placements, friends, family, professors, and even classmates. It takes a village is really a true saying because without them, I don't think I would have been able to make it. I encourage you all to create your village of people and rely on them to help you through the next phases in your life. The second thing I want to leave with you all is knowing your why. I'm going to say that one more time. Know your why. One of my favorite authors and speakers, Simon Sinek, says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Let me give you all an example. In the last semester of my master's program, I decided to start a business called So Educated. I want to put a little note here. I don't encourage anybody to start a business in the last semester of any program. But I decided to start this business called So Educated. Through my business, I provide graduation stoles like this one. These are banners that people wear around their neck when they go to graduate. You see a lot of people who are a part of fraternities or sororities or who are a part of different clubs in college wear these around their neck during graduation because it symbolizes an achievement or what they've been through or what they've been a part of. I created these stoles and I provide these to graduates who have aged out of foster care who are graduating from college. I started this business because I was proud of the journey that I went through, and I know many other people who age out of foster care struggled like I did. I'm also proud to be a part of the increasing 3% of us who graduate with our college degree and wanted to showcase this accomplishment. I also wanted to bring awareness to this issue in hopes that we can raise this statistic. My point is, people aren't buying the stoles just because it's a stole. They're buying the stoles because there's a meaning behind it and what it stands for. And so, as you all move forward in life, always revisit what your why is, because it will help you define your purpose that may help The final and third thing I want to leave with you all is don't let these statistics define you, shatter them, and pave your own path. The statistics I shared earlier are a snapshot in time, not the rest of your story, and they surely were not the rest of mine. So one of my favorite rappers is J. Cole, and he has this song called "Oh Three Adolescents," if you're familiar with his 2014 Forest Hills album. That's one of my favorite albums to listen to. But he has this song on there called "Oh Three Adolescents," and in his song he talks about how he wanted to talk to this girl, and she didn't want to talk to him because he was like a square, and he didn't have like all the cool clothes and chains and stuff like that, and so like his friends did. And so he grew up in a trailer park with his mom, and his mom worked very hard for him and stuff like that. So he had this in the song, he talks about how he goes to visit one of his friends who's not doing drugs, but is a part of the drug game and stuff like that. But he went to go talk with him because he seen that he was making a lot of money, he had the nice flashy things and the clothes and stuff like that. And so he says in his song how when he went to go talk to him, his friend laughed at him because he went to go talk to him and ask him, how do I get what you have? And his friend laughed and was like, what do you mean? Like, you are looking up to me and I look up to you because you're getting out of this situation. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be here. But you about to go off to college. You going somewhere with your life. You don't want this life. This isn't what you want. And so he talks about how he was ashamed to ever complain about what his mom was out here doing for him and trying to give him a better life. And one of the last lyrics in his song that I really like is that he says that he wasn't going to settle for less. He wasn't going to take what they handed. He was going to take what they owed him and show them that he could fly. And when I think about these lyrics, I really think about my journey through foster care and many others. Yes, we were handed some not so good cards. But it's what you do with those cards and how you take those cards and take what was owed to you and go ahead and do something with yourself and with your life. And it's because that I'm able to actually stand here today because I took control over my personal statistics and didn't let others' expectations of me define my journey and my outcomes in life. I use them to motivate, to rewrite them, and to show young people like yourselves that you are your own success story. I'm gonna say that one last time, that you all are your own success story. Not anybody else's. You don't have to be what anybody wants you to be. You're definitely not these statistics, because I can tell you right now, you made it. You're a part of that 50% that graduated. So that's a big accomplishment. But you all are your own success story. And always remember that as you all go in life, that you can do whatever you put your minds to, whatever you believe in yourself, you can do that. And so with that, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2021, and thank you for allowing me to celebrate with you all today.
today.